It's a new day. Yes, it is.
Yo, what's going on, guys? It is the Raw Deal podcast coming to you for episode 4. We're talking about Raw and SmackDown this week, as well as some 205 Live stuff. And it's two men tonight. We don't have Brady. He's doing moving stuff, and we're missing the Blob. He won't be here this week, but he may show up late. So keep that in the back of your mind. Anyway, it's just me and Charlie this week. So what's up, Charlie? How you been, man?
Going great. All done with classes. Great week of wrestling. And ready to roll.
That's pretty sweet. Yeah, for me right now, I'm about to go on winter break from my high school, and because of that, I just got my final grades for semesters and a couple of my classes because we did the last assignments that we're going to do that are graded. So that's all rolling for me. So let me just pull this up really quickly because I left the damn YouTube up for some reason. All right. So we're starting with Raw, like always, because it happens first.
Like always, the Monday Night Show.
Do what?
So, I was just saying, like always, the Monday Night Show.
Oh, yeah, the Monday Night Raw, the flagship show, they like to say. I guess we go to the first topic, the biggest topic of what happened on Monday night. Well, technically it happened the day after, but the New Day are now the longest reigning tag team champions of all time, which, I at first I didn't want, but watching them just maul their way, possibly try and just scratch claw their way all the way up to that ultimate title, it kind of worked for me. I like it. They're in the record books now, so whether or not you wanted it to happen, it's what I would compare to Brock Lesnar's thing that happened recently, with being just completely mauled in like three seconds by Goldberg and going down faster than Santino Marella in the Rumble. No, but it's like when Brock Lesnar was involved in another thing like that where he beat the Undertaker's undefeated streak and nobody wanted it, but it ended up working for that person. You know what I mean? Because Brock went on a tear after that. And now you think Goldberg's just going to fucking go ahead and drop this third match to him at WrestleMania? I don't know.
Yeah, that'll definitely be interesting to play out.
But anyway, back to the New Day. I like the New Day, right?
Yeah, and when you look back, and when people look back at the teams they beat on the night to practically break the record, it's gonna look impressive.
They beat the other two major champions on Raw right now, other than the women, and it's like.
And beating Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins, who are
two top guys, literally top guys, and
then Jericho and Owens.
Jericho is a one that's a good thing. That I already beat Jericho and Styles both, which if you think about it now, leading up into the build of what this ended up being, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's.
I think they did it the perfect way to break that streak, and. It has been long, and it's felt long at times, but there's other times when it's felt really good and really fresh.
Let's talk about the actual matches that were on Raw. I loved the first match. Cesaro and Sheamus did some crazy shit. So did Gallows and Anderson. Did you see Luke Gallows go in there for a while and start kicking everybody in the head? That was insane. He looked like what he did in New Japan. Like, they let him actually wrestle. It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, they let a couple people go loose there. Did you see that Cesaro sequence?
Oh my god! And it ended in the swing too, into the sharpshooter, and they let him hit all of his shit all at once. And that's why Cesaro, you asshole cat. That's how Cesaro does that stuff. That's what made Cesaro good in NXT, if you ask me.
Oh yeah.
That he could just go out there and just be like this super almost esque Hulk Hogan who just goes in there and just beats people up, and you're like, yeah, this Swiss dude totally looks like he's the Swiss Army person. You know what I mean? That's what everyone thinks.
He's going nuts, just nonstop.
That's
dude,
like
running along the outside, uppercuts,
kind of
jumps on the one guy.
Yeah, it's kind of analogous to the way that Jeff Hardy just sort of walks out there and people are like, okay, I'm rooting for this guy, even if they've never watched wrestling before.
Yeah,
he just goes out there and does crazy shit that a man of his size shouldn't be able to do. It kind of reminds me also of Vader a little bit in that way, except not like not like that kind of character.
Yeah, exactly. I know. I got I'm picking up what you're putting down.
That's good. All right. Moving forward.
Definitely an enjoyable match and everything about that, though, to open the show.
Then the second match, which, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say this is actually some of the better wrestling we've seen from Roman in the past couple of weeks on Raw. Because I think he's wrestled on all the last 3 of them, I think, in a couple matches with just random people. He's always on the card for whatever reason because he's that guy, I guess. He's the guy. He's not a good guy. He's not a bad guy. He's just Kevin Owens. I mean, what?
The guy, the man, the dude, it's all. Remember when they were calling Ambrose the dude? Yeah.
That was so fun. He's like, I guess that makes me the dude, right? That was the Shield triple threat, the double Shield triple threat, I should say, since they did it twice, was a better way than just waiting till WrestleMania to do it, I think, in my opinion. It could happen again, though. Who knows? If Rollins gets that title before Mania, it could happen. Maybe Ambrose gets sick of trying to fight AJ Styles because he doesn't like him. Maybe he wants to go and see his old friend Seth.
And then the teasing of the trades. I mean, shit's going down, man.
Oh, do you think there's going to be a trade before WrestleMania then? I don't know. That's a little...
Honestly, I think there's going to be something. Probably. I wouldn't doubt it.
The only thing I didn't like was after the match with Owens and Jericho, because I didn't have the others just go and there was just them in the ring, and then that's when they just confirmed that it's not happening again. Jericho's done. Yeah, it's whatever. I mean, it's one way to end it. It's just not the way. I would have much rather seen them go into a feud. That's probably going to be the next feud if Rollins doesn't get it, eventually.
But here's what's going to happen. If Owens wins and Rollins wins, are they going to put Jericho over Rollins? That's,
I just don't know.
It's one of those things. It doesn't. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out.
Do we think Roman's going to win? I just don't know.
I think there's literally a 0% chance he wins.
I hope you're right, because that would be.
I can't
Roadblock
see it.
Roadblock is not the title change pay-per-view. And, I mean, what's the hold on, let me see what the tag team match is.
The thing that makes it feel like it's not going to happen, the United States title is not even on the line. It's not even being mentioned.
Is there not a tag team title match?
There is. It was added on this Tribute to the Troops.
So is it not going to be at
It'll be a yeah.
Oh, okay. Let me just add that
roster. So I'll check it out later. It'll be pretty good.
Who are they fighting?
Cesaro and Sheamus.
Do you think they're going to let him take the titles off him?
I don't know.
Because they got the record either way.
That'll definitely be something to think about.
It's a probability.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at this card right now, thinking about it while we're on the topic of it. I'm thinking about it because
it would be cool.
It'll be
and Bray have titles, even though it's not the ones we want them to have. To have something would be nice.
Well, it's WWE apologizing again, saying, "Oh, we know he should have been a champion now. Why would we not? Okay, here's some championships. So just make him tag champion, whatever."
That's true.
It feels like Vince is just like, "Oh, I'm a little late to the party on this one, boys."
Real quick, while we're on these guys, did you see who was signed this week?
No, I did not.
Chris Hero.
What?
Any idea who he is?
No, that sounds familiar though. I was trying to think.
He was in NXT under the name Cassius Ohno.
Oh my God! Why did he change his name?
But his name in the Indies was always Chris Hero. He's probably going to come back as Chris Hero. But this guy has just been a building.
I've seen him a couple of matches with him from Ring of Honor with like Neville and it was the time when the Neville, Rollins, and Owens were all in there. They were all there together. Actually, I forget what the tag teams were. I think it was Ono and Rollins versus Owens and I just said him. I think Neville, yeah, because I think was perhaps Neville a heel, or no, it was probably Rollins and Neville versus Ono, and I'm sure, or not Ono. Well, actually, I think he's gone by that name before though, because that's what it said on the match for Ring of Honor.
When NXT was really young, like when Seth Rollins was the champion.
They did rob several people from NXT that weren't ready, I think, though, and that's why there's a lot of NXT guys that you didn't think were going to come up and still don't think they're going to come up, and it's not going to be for a while. That's kind of where they are with Shinsuke right now, because he doesn't translate well to an American crowd because he just has to go out there and be the king of strong style, and WWE doesn't want that, although they've been doing a lot of fucking non-PG stuff recently.
Yeah, he's one of those guys, it'll be really interesting to see how the main crowd takes him. That's for sure.
I just want the revival. I want them to be on SmackDown. Give me some tattoos. All right.
Yeah.
Oh yes, this is something that I put on the list. So early on, it just made the list. No, early on while I was watching Raw the other night, I saw. I think did Rollins come out and do a promo? Is that what I'm thinking of?
Yes, last week he opened the show talking about I want Triple H, and it was really out of the blue. And this week he said, let's get one thing clear. Triple H is still my number one, like whatever.
It's a weird build going on because he's saying he has to beat Kevin Owens, take the title, and then Triple H will fight him.
Yeah, he's got to prove it or something.
You should just walk into Triple H's office and then just punch him. Exactly. You want to fight me? How about this? How about Triple H versus him for the number one contendership? Because the last time Triple H was on TV was WrestleMania when he lost to Roman, right? Or sorry, not Rome, but other than when he came back to get.
Yeah, other than when he came back that one Raw and gave the title to Owens.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
Last time we saw him was WrestleMania.
That's the last time I saw him like in gear and stuff was what I mean.
Yeah, exactly.
Which he was only in gear for like when he wasn't being an authority figure at the time. And then he just was like, okay, I'm going to wrestle Roman Raw. You know what I mean?
Do you remember, while we're on it, when he had that title, he had these two matches, right? He had one against Ziggler on Raw, and he had a match against Dean Ambrose at the first Roadblock. And they were both just fantastic matches.
Yeah.
So, but about this feud, I like it because we're 3-4 months away from Mania still, and it's probably going to be a WrestleMania feud. So it's kind of cool. They're
keeping it. They're keeping our minds on it, so we don't forget about it before that happens.
Exactly. They don't want us to forget about it, and they're going to make it feel important when it comes. So I'm okay with it starting early, even if it's kind of weird how he's doing it.
Well, I would actually argue that maybe what they're going to do is it's going to be a multiple, like it'll be a Rumble feud. They'll fight at the Rumble, then they'll fight at what's the pay-per-view before Mania now? Oh, Fastlane.
Raw, it's Fastlane, and SmackDown has Elimination Chamber. So,
I want to see AJ Styles defending in an Elimination Chamber match.
Real quick, think about the names you could put that title up against, and an Elimination Chamber, and it would just be brutal. Ziggler, Corbin, and Randy Orton, Bray Wyatt. There you go.
But they're champions already.
They probably won't be by then.
Do you think so?
Yeah, I got a feeling they're losing at the Rumble or something.
Who do you think will take them from at the Rumble? American Alpha, maybe?
Yes, or the Usos.
And then American Alpha versus Bray Wyatt.
They might throw them in there with the tag titles too.
Well, in the chamber, yeah, you could. They've done that, I think, before, haven't they? I mean, they could. Maybe they haven't done it before, but they could. It's not like they couldn't. It would just be kind of awkward, two guys standing in a cell together. It would look odd after all the Elimination Chamber matches we've seen.
Yeah, they tried it with the Ryback Elimination Chamber, and the teams that you had in there were just ugly. It was the Ascension, the Lucha Dragons, the Los Matadores. It wasn't a good eliminate. I mean, Kalisto did some cool stuff, but he was still new to Raw. So it was.
That's when he'd first come from Lucha Underground. Am I correct? Because that's a different style.
I know he came from NXT at the time. He went to Sin Cara.
He went to NXT. He was one of the guys when they brought in all the guys from all the other promotions that they just robbed. Right about when they bought all the 4 superstars that we're seeing on TV regularly now. Well, if you count Shinsuke on NXT as regularly, but
Yeah.
But I think, and I don't know if Brady would agree with me on this, but I think I would love for either WrestleMania Day or the day after WrestleMania on Raw for us to get Shinsuke. He's obviously ready. He's wrestled all over the world.
If he does come out that day after Raw, my ass will be there. Calm down. Let's go. Cat making an appearance, saying
Yep.
what's up.
This is Babe, because she likes to slide around like Babe Ruth. That was literally the reason we named her that. No. She looks like a babe cat. Look at this.
Kitty.
Look at this. Oh,
Good
she
look.
wants to run away. She wants to run away. Okay, so we were talking about Rollins and all that. Do you want to talk about that anymore than anything else? I like the feud too. I think it's good.
I'm following the build-up, so it works for me.
Yeah, I think it's going to probably not continue to the Rumble though.
And it's Seth Rollins. Anything with Seth Rollins is good. So
Yeah, I mean, I think the match between him and Jericho is going to be very good. I just want to talk about while we're on Rollins. Rollins, I was iffy on Rollins before because like he was one of the ones when I first went into. Remember how I talked about the one time where one of the ways that I figure out what wrestlers I might like when I first came back into the fold, I guess you call it, watching wrestling again like about a year ago or something. It was like odd to me because I hadn't seen any of these guys, so I played the game first. I was like, okay, I'll play the game. I'll see who's been in recently, who I'm probably going to see. So I got WWE 2K16 at the video store. I rented that bitch for 5 days, and I played as many characters as I could in as many different match variations. Then I made my own superstar, but that's a separate topic. But I completely fell in love with Seth Rollins for about 5 minutes because he was already a champion on the game at the time. And I was like, but, he's a bad guy because I would get booed by the crowd, and I'd be like, well, I like bad guys, but I want to play as a good guy and get huge pops for my big moves. And that's when I lashed on to all of the other games. I want to play 2K17 so bad. It looks so awesome. I hope Braun Strowman's in it. That'd be amazing. Could they even make Braun Strowman in the Creator Studio? I don't even think they could.
No, Strowman's actually in the game.
Is he really? Oh, I would only ever play as Braun Strowman. How could you play any way other else? You could just throw people around the ring and just push them into the corner. And I mean, come on.
Speaking of Strowman, man, Sami Zayn match is official.
He's gonna get squashed though.
No, hold on. It's got a 10-minute time limit. I think he's lasting all 10 minutes. He's not dying.
I mean, it would give him a good pop.
Yep.
Make it seem like he's going to submit or something. Not submit. Make it seem like he's going to, not get back up.
Like he just doesn't die. Like he just doesn't go away.
What if he just gets knocked out and that's how he lasts all 10 minutes? That'd be funny. Braun just slams him down with the one move and then he just walks out. 10 minutes later, ding, 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 here is your winner. Or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All I know is that Zayn promo on Raw, since we talked about him, our first episode of Raw Deal, I feel like they've been using Zayn better.
Yeah.
He's got nothing right now.
We ragged on him for 2 or 3 weeks, and then all of a sudden he came back.
And I absolutely love it. I'm totally down with it.
I don't think he's.
Great.
I just don't think the WWE likes us fans enough to do that. No, I'm just kidding. This booking in the past has taught me not to expect anything to be exactly what you expect it to be in WWE. There's going to be some small twist on it that none of us expected.
Dude, the Eve Marie trade.
Dude, that would have been so terrible. I can't believe that we would have had to have that on my favorite show right now.
I'm certain it was Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins.
Good, but I thought the name that they were going to say was going to be Kurt Hawkins.
Kurt Hawkins.
Eva Marie, Mick. That
was their little nod to the audience right there. That's what that was. Eva Marie being less, Sami Zayn getting offended by Eva Marie was totally there. Like, yeah, we get it. She's not that good. That's why she's not on TV right now, boys. All right. Well, we should move to.
Yeah. Overall, Raw was enjoyable to me.
We still haven't talked about Chris Jericho. Okay, let's talk about Chris Jericho right now. Oh my God, I love Chris Jericho. When I first saw Chris Jericho years ago, he instantly became my favorite for a while because he came back one time. I forget, it was sometime in the early 2000s, and I'd heard of Chris Jericho before because I was into wrestling like I am now always with all the knowledge and stuff, and it was really cool to watch this dude that I'd never heard of before, like, who my mom was like, oh, yeah, I used to think he was so hot back in the day. And I'm like, wow.
Oh, wow, Ma. Nice.
Like, wow. I was like, yeah, that's cool, you know? And this just was perspective. I was like, damn, wrestling's been on for a long time. And then that's when I decided I wanted to learn about it. Chris Jericho now is as good as he's ever been, maybe even better. Because ever since, and think about the build for him right now. He turned heel on AJ all this time ago. Think about how long ago that was, because he turned heel once in there too.
February.
So, yeah, that was the WrestleMania feud for Chris Jericho, which I think is a huge honor for AJ, and I think there was a nod of respect from Jericho to AJ. Even though I think Jericho did win the WrestleMania match, but you know,
we can go through the timeline real quick. He came back.
You want to do that?
He came back in September. Was a surprise thing with Roman and Dean.
Mm-hmm.
He made them lose, so they showed like this little tension between him and Dean. He was off TV for a little bit. Came back in January. Said he was going to the Rumble. Did really good in the Rumble. He lasted over an hour, which in the books it goes really long. Then he faces AJ Styles for a couple months. Then he goes on to Dean Ambrose. He beats AJ Styles in the feud, like you said. He capitalized it at Mania. Loses to Ambrose, so he puts Ambrose over in like a 2-month feud. Then he goes on to Money in the Bank, and then they do the Kevin Owens.
He put AJ over. Did you say that? He put AJ over too in that span.
Yeah,
at Fastlane. Yeah, which I think is awesome. Not of respect. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So when he put those like his last 4 like kind of big things, Styles, Ambrose, Money in the Bank, and then this Kevin Owens my best friend thing, he's been in some big stuff, but he's made it work every time.
Yeah.
You know, we had Mitch Flint for a week. That was fun.
Do what? Your mic went all crazy?
Mitch the Plant when he was in the Ambrose feud.
Oh my gosh, Mitch the Plant was my favorite thing on WWE for a little bit.
But about Eva Marie, my sister chimed in finally and said she's filming a movie right now. That's why she's away. Yep.
Interesting.
So I'm ready. I'm ready to see her, man. Yeah, she's got black hair too.
Didn't Brady say something like she didn't have a contract or something?
Yeah, he saw this Total Divas clip where she was like, Jillian, do you know what happened with that? She watches it. With the Total Divas? Like what happened with her contract thing? Did you see that episode?
Oh yeah, she went there and she said that she had an idea for her entrance, which is what she got now. And then they put her in a dark match with Natalia. So she'd be used.
So her going to the office and whatnot actually worked. Like her going to Raw.
That's pretty crazy.
So for her.
She said, you know what? I think that proves that she's not really as bad as everyone says she is. She understands that she's not that great in the ring, so she wants to put on a show. You know what I mean?
Exactly, and that's why they developed the character when she was just starting that. She wouldn't even debut. It was perfect.
Yeah, that's what Total Divas. Total Divas is almost kind of like the female version of Talking Smack. You know what I mean? Or vice versa, if you want to throw it the other way.
More people like some of them. I'd agree with that.
The only problem with it is a lot of it's kayfabe breaking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Lana not talking in her accent.
Yeah.
Yeah, the timeline from Jericho it's been good. It's been fun, and now we're in the Seth Rollins feud. So, and he might be going into the championship feud next.
That could be it.
That could be the, you know.
Yeah, that could be the Rumble. Yeah, I completely 100% agree. That's going to be huge thing. All right, I guess that's all the Raw stuff, guys. But the Raw stuff, Raw was good. If I had to give Raw a rating out of 10 over the last 2 episodes, I would say the last week's was a 6 or a 7, and this week is also a 6 or a 7. Not too bad, but not particularly good episodes. But they did help. I just want more Braun Strowman. They would have both been perfect shows if there was more Braun Strowman. Yeah. So. It should have been Strowman that had he should have had a face. You know what I mean? Instead of Big Show.
Oh yeah. That's Rollins should have faced.
Yeah, it'd make more sense.
You know, it's setting up the Big Show.
If he just got squashed by him, that would be awesome because then Rollins could just be like, that could be something you set up where they're like, well, I guess I'm just not doing shit on this show. I'm going to the other show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely.
It's just, I always see this stuff when I'm watching it, and then when they don't do it, I'm like, it's also like the Chris Jericho thing that they could have done a couple weeks ago, last week with the United States title. It's just like,
oh my God, he should have won that. This
should have won that.
Roman and Kevin match that much more, because I really think Roman would have won if he did not have that other belt. If Roman did not have the United States title, I think he would win easily, because it's about that time. Let him win.
Yeah.
But
I just want to see Jericho get that belt. I just want to see him have the collection.
Before he goes.
Then he'll be a WWE Grand Slam champion, and that's good.
Yep.
And that would be good. And and if he goes on a good tear reign with it, which would be good, because I like heels with that championship, especially foreign heels, because it's so good. Like the stuff with Rusev for the last couple months was just good. I loved it. You're the all-time greatest United States champion, Rusev. I mean, you know what I mean? You just can't beat that. All right. SmackDown.
Yep.
The first big thing that happened on the show, the Hype Bros. Well, not the first thing. This happened after a couple other things, but the Hype Bros are the new number one contenders for the tag team championships on SmackDown, which is, I think, a bad thing, but also a good thing at the same time, because there's not a whole lot of. I just don't want to. I don't think if Heath and Rhino don't need to be doing a thing anymore, and I liked what they did where he got flipped over the ropes by.
They're doing that breakup perfectly. Absolutely.
Yeah. Because they were never really together to begin with. They were planting the seeds of them breaking up like when they were just getting together. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they were the first champions, which is, it did what it needed to do.
It's like with Becky Lynch and Alexa Bliss. Becky was the first champion. She doesn't need the title anymore because she's already gotten herself up to where she can be in a title feud again in a couple months, and everyone will be like, oh, yeah. So I think that's the same thing with them, except they just need to break up. You know what I mean? Need to get out of the title scene. Maybe now Heath and Rhino both have enough star power on their own that they can go for mid-card titles or even upper-card titles for Rhino, because I don't think he's ever held the heavyweight championship, has he? On a regular WWE show.
Yeah, I'm not sure at all.
He may have.
Yes.
Unless you count ECW as regular WWE television.
Sure, W championship.
He did. I just don't know. People usually, because it didn't last. It's still WWE television. So, what are your thoughts on the Hype Bros?
What a final three first, Zack Ryder, Connor, and Tyler Breeze. I was really, really pulling for Tyler Breeze in that moment.
That makes two of us. Because if they had done that, they could have literally catapulted Breezango into the stars.
Oh, that would have done so much for them. When it first started, I was like, all right, final two. And I said Jason Jordan and Tyler Breeze in my head. Like, that's what I told my roommate. I was like, that's why I want final two. But a final two of Connor and Zack Ryder. If you would have told me that, I would have slapped you. But all I keep going back to, man, they had 8 weeks till the next pay-per-view. They're going to do some weird shit. So
it's going to be more than one tag team title match you watch.
Let the Hype Bros get one. Who knows? Maybe the Hype Bros will look great in this, and we'll like them.
Maybe they won't get completely mauled like the freaking Heath Slater and Rhino did. Like I said, it was a bit of a squash match on that pay-per-view. Yeah. TLC was a good show, though.
6 minutes.
I rag on it a little bit. Yeah, there's not much more to say about this. This is just this good thing. It'll be a good feud for till I don't know if the title match is going to be next week or the week after, but it'll be on one of those shows because there's going to be other title matches on those shows. So
27th. But however, Zack Ryder got hurt, so we don't know if this is even going to happen.
Yeah, because then it's odd because he got hurt right after or like in the match or whatever.
Literally as he won.
Yeah, I thought I saw him fucking get caught up in the ropes. It's fucking funny. Somebody else, I forget who it was, they got like thrown by like one of the Ascension or something over his head, and he landed on the ropes pretty awkwardly, so I wonder if that guy got hurt too. I don't remember who that was.
I think I know who you're talking about. Dude, real quick, how about Simon Gotch getting waxed the first I mean, how downhill has the Vaudevillains, like,
They're like a joke. They don't even show their entrance anymore. They're elevated jobbers at this point.
That's what they are, and they got.
That's kind of what they. Here's the sad thing, though. That's kind of what they were in NXT too.
They had the hot moment when they beat Blake and Murphy within a month. Stale as it can be.
The characters just aren't interesting. They don't ever show other than they're just, oh, we're these vaudevillian dudes. Look at our mustaches, you know?
One example of how it works, Jack Gallagher.
Yes. Jack Gallagher is just freaking weird, and I want him to get a title shot. God damn
10 times more entertaining than the Vaudevillains. And, you know, it shows.
Have Jack Gallagher take it off of fucking Rich Swann and then give it to fucking, what's his name? I can't think of it.
Oh, yeah, I got some ideas when we get to 205 Live.
Yeah.
I got some good things.
All right, well, moving on SmackDown, as we got diverted to something that's not even on the show, we got Alexa Bliss, who is just being the perfect heel right now, I think. She's definitely – her character is all there. Like, she's defined it well enough now by this point. She's got, like, a good craft with her character, which is something a lot of people that don't just come from a super independent wrestling background have, which she does, which I like, which is good. But yeah, I mean, like all these people, or some of these people, like, she's an example of one of the ones that, you know, came up and decided they were going to do it, and were just like 100% the whole way. And that's, I think, where people like the Vaudevillains and the Hype Bros and the other NXT stars that were like good for a hot minute that they thought would be really successful that didn't really get a whole lot of time to hone their craft down there and build a character. Because what we've learned now, because they're taking a lot of the same angles that they use on NXT that may or may not work and put them on the main shows, because they can't do Ambrose Asylum matches anymore. They just don't work. You can't just throw a bunch of random shit in a ring and say this is a different kind of match. It's like, at that point, everything's a street fight and it doesn't even matter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You gotta build it up to it. And, you know, they gave the Vaudevillains a chance. The first 3 months on the roster, the Vaudevillains were in title feud. But they couldn't get over with the crowd because they just were not interesting.
We thought they were going to win it at some point, and now we don't even think they have a shot.
Oh, exactly. There's no hope. And you know they could have put that title back on them in May. Why not?
You never know.
But 6 months later, New Day is longest reigning champs, and the title almost feels a lot more important than it did. But especially like players had it a year and a half ago.
We still has to feel like it has something to do with the lawsuit, though, right? Like whether or not it does, that's a blemish on this situation, and we can't view it objectively because of that.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Demolition came out and they gave them their blessing almost. So that was kind of cool. Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
They thought it was only two guys, so I mean they don't really know them too well, but you know, they gave them the blessing, and it's good to see. You know, it's a pass of the torch, especially because.
But I don't know if I could say the New Day are the best tag team ever.
Oh, they're not the best tag team right now. You know, so.
They're not the best tag team on Raw. Yeah, I think it's Cesaro and Sheamus right now. I have to be honest.
Cesaro and Sheamus, the club, and Enzo and Cass. I mean, we're forgetting how good Enzo and Cass are.
They just haven't been in a tag title shoot in a couple months.
So it's got a lot, you know. But what I was going to say about Alexa Bliss, when SmackDown started, you had Becky Lynch and Nikki Bella just miles above the rest of the group. And now you got Becky Lynch, Nikki Bella, and Alexa Bliss miles above the group. So it's the fact that they've been able to do that within, 4 months of the brand split? That's awesome. And that's really something to kind of look at.
Something to reflect on.
Everyone literally thought that it was just going to be Nikki against Becky Blake. Just nonstop. And they haven't even had to put Nikki in the title yet. They've been using secondary women's feuds on SmackDown, which is awesome.
Unlike Raw.
Exactly, unlike Raw.
We only have two freaking women, apparently.
Yeah, they only allow 2 women at a time on Raw. No others. You would never be this is the old way of doing it. You know what, though? I had to say something interesting. This is probably somewhat, WWE, I know the GM angles and all that stuff. They're like all a little fake, and I mean they're not really running the shows. But these are Shane McMahon and Stephanie McMahon. I'm sure are some people that have some influence on what's going on. I mean, you know what I mean? So a lot of the stuff you're seeing is them plus Vince plus the writing staff. You know what I mean? So
yep. There is no way that Shane and Daniel Bryan do not have some impact.
Oh my God!
Like,
if Daniel doesn't, I would shoot somebody. I'm joking. Don't come arrest me. But you know what I mean?
Exactly. Yeah.
That'd be terrible because Daniel Bryan has so much to offer from his experience all across the world.
Talking smack.
He's so good all the time. He's still good. I don't know why people think he's not. He's still good. I always, as soon as I found out about Daniel Bryan, I was a fan. I mean, I didn't even know he was like a popular dude because he wasn't for a long time, and you know what I mean. So.
Well, I kind of picked up wrestling in January 2015, so I only saw him on his comeback, but I liked him, so it worked, you know?
I forget when I found out about him. He wasn't really on TV by the time I've seen a lot of his old footage, because what I did before I started watching again, well, what pay-per-view did I come back in at? Probably somewhere around Fastlane, maybe. No, I came in the month before right after the stuff that happened, before the Royal Rumble last year. So about this time last year is when I came in. Right before I watched all the stuff that had happened in the last 5, 6, 7 years that I hadn't been watching wrestling, the good and the bad, and it was horrible and great at the same time.
Yeah, since I've been about 2 years, and I've seen some pretty ugly stuff, but there's been some pretty good stuff. So I'm definitely sticking around for a while, I think.
Oh, you know what? Here's a good gauge for when the Dudley Boys came back. That's about when I came in. Last year, when they came back, about the middle of the year last year, when they came back, or however long that was.
Yeah, the Dudley Boys. You know what? When they came back, they helped get over some talent. So I'll give it. That looks badass. I'll give it what it is.
What this?
Freaking thing looks sick.
It's called a Meerschaum pipe.
There you go.
It's pressed with a special mineral that comes in, I believe, in Belgium, where they make them. This is a pressed one. They have actual carved ones. This isn't a carved one. I want to get one of those so bad. They're really expensive, though. This one's still pretty good.
Still pretty dank.
Dank as hell. Got to smoke my tobaccos out of it.
And then in SmackDown was it was quick paced. There's big matches in it. So we get on.
There's one more thing that we haven't even touched on.
Exactly.
That was pretty big.
Fatal 4-way.
Fucking awesome match, I had to say.
I'll be honest. That first pinfall, I forgot it was elimination.
Yeah, I was like, oh my gosh, they won.
I was like, Ambrose really just won like that?
Yeah, which is something I thought would almost happen anyway, just because they wanted to throw him back in because they're like, fuck it, they've done it a million times.
What a great match. And all I got to say is, Luke Harper, they booked that guy looking so damn strong. And
oh my God, he's going to go for the singles title. I think that's official.
Oh, I mean, how can they not go with him now? The crowd was reacting to him. And I'm sure, everyone was kind of feeling him at that point. Because he's so strong. He looks so good. But that only shows just how powerful that threesome of the Wyatt family is.
Yeah, man, they're skyrocketing to the top at the moment.
There's one man missing from that match, though. Unfortunately, it was Baron Corbin.
You know what, though? I'm okay with that. He was already in a title six-pack match at the beginning of SmackDown Live, and that's all I wanted. Because he was in the title. Because he's not going. You know, we were all trying to figure out if he's going to go for the mid-card title. We know he's not because he was in the title match several months ago. Not the title match, but the number one contenders match, 4 months ago when SmackDown Live first started.
You know what? He would have been in the place of Luke Harper. So I'm glad that they had Luke Harper look good there. So, I'd rather have Luke Harper and Baron Corbin both looking good than just constantly Baron Corbin because, I'm a Baron Corbin guy. I could say that.
I've always been a Baron Corbin guy ever since I found out who he was. He was a fucking 3-time Golden Gloves champion. That's crazy.
I actually didn't know that.
Yeah, it's one of the things they put on his those little stat cards they have.
I love when SmackDown does that, man. They have those little things like that.
It's pretty cool. I don't think Raw does it at all.
The Usos, though.
They don't got shit about the Usos. They're 2-time WWE champions.
And they put 3-time sometimes. That's what.
Yeah.
Oh.
They should just put that they're related to the Rock.
Julia goes, they should put it that he's related to The Rock. Roman Reigns' cousin. But Dolph Ziggler winning it, man.
Dolph Ziggler.
What was your thoughts when you saw him get As soon as you saw that thing happen to Ambrose and you saw that super kick happen, what were you thinking?
I was thinking, oh my gosh, they're going to deal with the feud that they should have gone with last week, which is Ambrose versus The Miz, because that's obviously because he distracted him. And now we're getting – so basically, one of us predicted this. It might have been a combination of us, but I remember saying this was that was going to be the feuds that they went with because it will switch up.
They had no faces to go after Miz, and it had to be Ambrose.
They had no faces to go after Styles.
And exactly. They have such a fucking – oh, God.
They have such a thin card that they can only ever have AJ versus Dean unless they throw Ziggler out of the mid-card, which then throws the mid-card in even more whack.
Oh, God. Well, thing is, we got heels holding the belt. If it was a face holding the belt, I mean...
It'd be so ezy. It'd be so easy.
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe that's why... Wait a minute. Maybe that's why they're trying to turn Styles face a little bit, because maybe they're going to turn... Ziggler heel again because his fucking thing on Twitter is still heel Ziggler.
But all I know is when they have this match, December 27th, real quick, if you didn't know, so Ellsworth was supposed to get his rematch, right? They're delaying that. Danny Brown on Talk, his Mac was like, he'll get it down the line because Ziggler's in line first, December 27th, so 2 weeks from this last SmackDown. And it's going to be a hell of a match. If they do it right, like it's a big-time match, these two guys are going to go all out, and it's going to be a fun show.
Yeah. I think it'll be one of the better matches we've actually had on WWE TV recently.
And there's been some good ones, too. That Rollins and Owens match.
Oh, my.
There's been some good stuff.
Dude, there was a match on Raw like 3 or 4 or 5 months ago before the brand split. I guess it'd been at least 5 months ago if it was before the brand split. But it was Sami Zayn versus Kevin Owens. There was an apron brainbuster in that match. What is this, Ring of Honor? I mean...
Oh, did you see the spots that they were putting on in their last match like 2 weeks ago? And they just threw it
together?
What the hell?
And I was actually okay with that match. It wasn't a bad match.
Oh,
Sami Zayn's just in a weird spot right now. You know what I mean?
Sami Zayn is so good. And I haven't started to notice it until we've started talking about him. And I can honestly say that. Like, I knew he was good. I've seen his stuff. But I didn't really, truly believe in him. But now after we've been talking about him, I've been looking into him. I went back and watched his matches against Cesaro and NXT. And I watched him win the title against Neville. I'm all on the train now, man. Like, I'm in it. Let's ride this Sami Zayn train. But
oh, yeah.
Overall, solid week of SmackDown. Ziggler winning, Hype Bros. I don't know. All I keep saying is 8 weeks, man. They had 8 weeks.
Yep, they got to fill something.
They got to do something.
Alexa Bliss still good. Becky Lynch still good. Carmella kind of weird. The feud with Nikki and them is it's getting weird at this point. Just show us the security cam footage at some point. I thought Natalya was going to do that on this episode, and then it was like, nope.
Dude, the security footage is going to show Mickey James hitting her.
That would be awesome. But
that's my honest to God guess.
It should wait a while because Becky wants to be a heel, and it should show Becky hitting.
Yep.
That's what that's what we were saying. That sounds good to me, and that would be good because it would be no one will see it coming because even the wrestling nerds right now are talking about. By that I mean other podcasters. They're talking about that's probably what's going to happen is that it's going to be either one of the two that they think, and it'll just be whatever. There's the whatever feud, you know. But they're planning something bigger, I think.
So, all right. So let's do a little prediction right here. Who do you think it's going to end up showing? If you had to pick one person that it's going to end up on that hitter.
I think it has to be Becky. I mean, if it's not, then what the hell has been the last couple weeks of this feud? You know what I mean?
My guess is the returning Mickey James. That's my honest to God guess.
I agree with that to some extent. I think the other
if
idea.
It's one of those, I think we're both down with that.
Yeah.
Julianne's hoping
Eva Marie, yeah. that would be funny.
Jesus.
Eva Marie is the reason that wrestling is still relevant.
Oh my God.
She's better at making moves than AJ Styles. I mean, you know.
That Eva Marie Bailey match with the false finishes, that was the perfect way you write an Eva Marie match. Have you seen that, Garrett?
No, I don't think so, but it sounds hilarious.
Yeah, I'll have to get it to you one day. The match we went to.
Oh,
Yeah, dude, they booked it perfectly. They debuted Nia Jax as Eva Marie's manager. This is things that they could do when they bring Eva to SmackDown, man.
Well, Nia is currently on Raw, so.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not saying Nia. I'm just saying,
And
like,
not on TV either, actually, I should also add. She hasn't been.
Sasha or Charlotte.
yeah, there you go. Sasha and Charlotte, so or Alicia
Yeah.
Fox boyfriend thing, whatever the hell that is.
That's just. I don't understand what they're trying to do with Bailey right now. It doesn't really make much sense.
It's holding her off.
They don't even know what they're doing.
Yeah, they don't even know. Let's be honest.
They're putting her on TV so we can be like, oh, look, it's Bailey.
Oh.
They need to fill time on Raw. It's a 3-hour show, damn it.
So, what do you think? 205 Live? So, as we talk about 205 Live, can we dabble into the Raw Cruiserweights kind of too? What went down there?
Well, that was sort of the idea when I threw it on here. Yeah, we'll talk about that.
Because there's 5 matches in total each week. And this week, my favorite thing, Jack Gallagher, I'm interrupting the match. Dude, that was too good. That was literally too good. Him coming out, you scoundrel. The fans are chanting scoundrel at Daivari. That was oh my god.
Scoundrel.
Though, you know?
Oh, yeah. Jack Gallagher is going to be – I want him in a title feud. Like I said, I want Jack Gallagher to take it from Rich Swann, and then I want Cedric Alexander to take it from – yeah. There's your bridge. There's your WrestleMania feud. There you go. Boom. Take it, WWE. I won't charge you for it. Just go.
So we had 2 debuts on 205 Live. Well, they're 205 Live debuts. But Mustafa Ali, it was yeah.
That I think was his in-ring debut on WWE main television.
Yes.
But anyone that's watching that's watched the Cruiserweight Classic probably anyway.
They had this match on the Cruiserweight Classic. Lindsay Dorado versus Mustafa Ali. And this is the matches. These are the matches that they need to have on Raw. These guys did not do headlocks. They didn't sit there and hold each other for 5 minutes. They were doing flips and shit the entire time, and the crowd was actually like awake. And this was taped before Raw, so it wasn't after SmackDown. Nothing was dead. But if you want my idea of what this Cruiserweight division should be like, obviously there's differences with Gallagher and like Kendrick and Gulak, you know, the guys who are the technical wrestlers. But that's fine. They do their craft. But the guys that are the flips and shit, like Cedric Alexander, like Noam Dar, because that match that Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar had last week was fucking terrible. And I like both the guys. But it was just headlocks the entire time.
And I've seen...
And they went out there... What was it? I was saying...
W on here. It's not a main...
We were kind of...
I saw him... or am I?
What you were saying.
Anyway, the first time I saw Noam Dar was on WCPW, which at the time I had never really heard of What Culture. I had just gotten into their videos. It's really what pulled me back into wrestling, but I started watching their promotion, and that's what made me start watching wrestling again, because I was like, okay, this is pretty cool. I'm going to go back and figure out what happened. But he was really good on those matches that I saw him on. He was doing, I think I saw him wrestle, I can't remember their names. I saw him wrestle, the British guy that's in New Japan right now. It's part of that fucking stable. The British dude, I can't think of his fucking name.
Is he in Bullet Club?
No, he's in fucking he's with a couple of Japanese dudes. I think.
Chaos?
The Chaos Syndicate, yes.
I don't know the name.
Let me look it up really quickly.
Was it Will Ospreay? No.
Will Ospreay, yes, it was Will Ospreay, yes.
Was it? Okay.
Yeah, Will
Ospreay's
Ospreay. And what the fuck was that luchador's name? I can't think of it.
Oh, Phoenix. No, it's not Phoenix. It's I don't think it's though. It's El Ligero.
El Ligero, yes. That was a fucking fantastic match.
See, Noam Dar can put on great stuff, but when they have him sitting there in headlocks, it just does not
Like
work.
a 5-star. Like that's It was amazing, and there was even some technical stuff in there throwing from Ospreay's, a little bit of technical wrestling that he does. And you know what I found out from that match? Noam Dar is actually really good at technical wrestling too. So the fact that they're having him do that is probably a good thing. Maybe not against Cedric Alexander because we've seen a couple Cedric Alexander matches already. He's really flippy shit. So, I mean, look at his finisher. He does flippy shit. You know what I mean? So
yeah, exactly. And honestly, that match, it wasn't like a technical wrestling match like you see with Gallagher. It literally was a headlock for multiple minutes on end.
Yeah, not a good match.
It was rough. But yeah, the Lince Dorado, Mustafa Ali, beautiful match on 205 Live. This week at 205 Live was really good. I thought Up and Down was great.
So Rich Swann had a match.
Fucking got pinned clean. TJ Perkins. Yep, Perkins pinned clean.
TJ Perkins has the title match now.
Yeah, roadblock, triple threat. Perkins, Kendrick, and Swan. Which will be good. I mean, those are great together.
I think in the moments when and what this is how you get the cruiserweight technical style of wrestling to work is that you put it in a match like a triple threat because then he doesn't have to take up the whole match with that. And it's not you can still get your flippy shit with the other two guys in.
And technical wrestling, as Gallagher proves, is fun to watch. As Zack Sabre Jr. proves, it's fun to watch. But it doesn't work sometimes when it's, you got to do different holds. That's what makes it work. The crazy different holds. And just, at least to me, other people, they might like the headlock for 5 minutes. Fair enough. More power to you. But
I don't. I think if you have that match again, if you have Noam Dar,
who is one of the top 5.
Right. If you have Noam Dar, what's the match again? I just lost it.
Against Cedric Alexander, who's another one of the top 5.
Yeah.
I think you're cutting out again, Garrett.
Yeah, I was. But anyway, if you have Noam Dar versus Cedric Alexander again, you can make that match work because Noam Dar's finisher is literally a hold. So you can have him going from arm hold to leg lock to knee bar to, you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And please, God, call it the Champagne Super Knee Bar and start calling it the Champagne Super because that's what he had. God damn. That's his thing. That was his thing on the Independent Secret. Please, just do it.
Noam Dar is very young, too.
Oh, yeah, and he's great for how young he is.
He's 23. That's insane. Hey, you know who else is 23? Will Ospreay. Holy shit. That's all I got to say about that.
TJ Perkins is also insane for how young he is.
All I know is 255 to me. I know it's a lot of people are really skeptical on the cruiserweights, but I have been getting really into this cruiserweight style and the cruiserweight.
Well, I mean, look at what they did this past Monday on Raw. You know what I mean? It wasn't as good.
Well, on Raw, they gave what's his face. There are 2 segments, right? You have. Oh my God, I'm brain farting here. Who did Drew Gulak against who?
Was it against Gallagher?
That was on 205 Live. On Raw, it was Ariya Daivari against.
Yeah, wasn't that his Raw debut?
No, he interrupted the match. It was against the face. Who the hell was it? Oh, I'm blanking hard right now.
Me too. Man,
You know what? I'm thinking it was Lince Dorado.
Yeah, because that's why I was thinking Lince Dorado.
Sorry, Daivari, it sound right? And then it was Lince Dorado against Mustafa Ali.
Gallagher is just the best, man. He's getting over. Also, who's getting over is Rich Swann. He was getting pops in that match.
Absolute dude. Those 2 guys, Alexander, that's who you build it around right there.
Yeah. Yep.
Overall, it's a fun week of wrestling, huh?
I agree.
So, also this week, we got predictions for Roadblock. When are we doing that? Saturday? Sunday?
Yes.
Whenever?
Saturday. We can do it on
Either day works for me. And Brady will be with us.
I'll probably have Brady then. Unfortunately, he didn't get to make it for this particular episode, but he will be back. He's doing stuff right now, and we're not going to make him like put a GoPro on or something. You know what I mean? So
Exactly. Yeah.
that would be hilarious. So.
GoPro on his goddamn phone to do this, so it's okay. The Beast will be back on Saturday. We'll do our Roadblock predictions. We'll also do our Royal Rumble entrance. If any of you guys are listening to this full, we do our Royal Rumble picks, and we'll also add 2 more each. So, yeah. Got any final? What are you thinking, Garrett? Got any last words for this week?
I think I'm cutting out again.
Shit. Oh, well, I caught you back.
I'm back.
Did you hear what I said?
Damn.
I wonder why we're losing you.
Still alive.
Yeah. Well, guys, we'll catch you Saturday with Roadblock predictions. But yeah, it's been Garrett and Charlie, and we're out.